Hi, folks. We are back with another session at Mahajan Medical Center, and I have a very special guest. Here she is, Jennifer.
Hi, everyone.
Jennifer, for those of you who have not met her, she's a lead MA at Mahajan Medical Center, and she does a fabulous job with our patients. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Ranjan Mahajan. I'm a board certified physician practicing in Largo. And once a month, from our studios here in beautiful Tampa Bay, we talk to our audience across the globe. And I have a privilege that you guys listen to me and get back to us with your thoughts, what we should include. And we've been doing this endeavor for almost more than a year, and we've been very successful in getting fantastic guests to our shows. If you want to go back and look at any of our webcast, you can do that at our YouTube channel, and we'll put a link for that for you to, uh, you know, go there. And if you like something, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and do put comments on our show today as well. So we know that you're watching and gives us a thumbs up, your love, and put comments about if you want to talk about topic for today. And then brings us to what are the topic for today. Today we're going to talk about our chronic care management program in our office, which means patients who have chronic conditions, for example, like diabetes, obesity, COPD, or lung disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD in short, congestive heart failure. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the holidays, which brings a lot of anxiety, stress, and depression. So I'm going to give you some tips how to recognize it, A, and B, how to cope with it. So we got a big agenda for our holiday special, Christmas special today. We want to congratulate our winner from our previous birthday bash, end of November. We're going to put his pictures up there, and we already did, so we're going to put it up again. So congratulations to our winner from our November birthday bash, and then we're going to have one in end of December, and we're going to post it on our comments today as well. The time for that, our office manager Debbie will take RSVP for that. So if have a birthday and you're 65 and above, and do attend the parties. They're very fun, and we always have something nice to raffle out end of the party to the lucky winner. Last time the winner won a 40-inch TV, so that's a good thing. So if you have a birthday in December, which is current month, or January, you'll be eligible for that. So we'll put details for that. So let's just take a pause, and we'll come back to our show and get Jennifer to talk about a very special patient she was able to help. So let's get a pause here and. At Mahajan Medical Center, we care to listen to our patients. Proudly serving the needs of Tampa Bay in primary care for 25 years and counting. Hi, we're back, Jennifer. So why don't you start by telling our audience what's this patient about, and you were helping this patient for about a year, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so I have a very special patient that I've been working with, trying to get his A1C reduction down. We've been working for the past year, and we've seen some great results, and I'm really excited to share that with you. So patient started with a very high A1C, and his blood sugar fasting was also very high. So we were able to get him a Freestyle Libre covered by his insurance. And with diet and exercise, we were able to bring his A1C down from 11.7. And in March, it was 8.1. And now here we are, November, 5.9, which is just amazing. Such a great change.
Yes. So, for those folks who don't understand A1C, if they don't have any diabetics in their family or they're not themselves diabetic, the A1C is a lab test which in diabetics gives us an average for 3 months. And if you look at this patient, he started out a year ago more than 11. That tells me the average sugar in this patient was more than 3 to 400 on a daily basis. And high sugar of that kind can damage your nerves in your legs, in your feet, can it cause inflammation of the arteries of the heart, of the brain, of the legs, can cause a longer period of time, can cause amputation of the legs because the arteries clog up there, along with other risk factors. Like if you're a smoker, then it happens quicker. And then, it can affect your eyes. So, what we do in our Mahajan Medical Center is a collaborative approach with the providers, which is me, my wife, and our three lovely nurse practitioners. We talk to the patients, see, and every patient is different, how, what they eat, what kind of access they have to the food,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of financial constraints they have in terms of, medications, what they can afford. So you have to come up with a very individualized program for every diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we have a great partnership with our MAs, and especially Jennifer, who has expertise in helping diabetics, uh, you know, A, figure out what to eat, B, exercise, C, uh, monitor their numbers, as she was talking about Libre, which is, not for every patient, but some patient who has very high sugars on insulin could be a good alternative to regular checking of the sugar from the finger stick. The Libre is a continuous glucose monitor, which can help the patients not to worry about sticking their fingers. But as I said, it's not for indicated for everyone. So you can, if you're taking insulin shot 3 times a day, then you will be eligible for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another great tool which we have a lot of our patients using who are on insulin, to give them a feedback.
Right. I feel like it really helps them when they can see it on the screen and how the blood sugar is trending to really help them become more aware of what they should be doing and how can they can change that.
Right. So we can teach you if you're a candidate for the a device like Libre to you can come to our office. We can prescribe it, and then Jennifer can show you. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're taking shots, insulin shot 3 times a day, and you want to try a continuous glucose monitoring, we have a couple of other options too. So Libre is not the only option, depending on your insurance. So that's one. And then the last piece is compliance with the
Mm-hmm.
treatment plan me and our team has put together. And Jennifer, depending on what your needs are, can call you once a month
Mm-hmm.
and help you stay on track. Because a lot of time with everything, we get on track initially. We are all enthusiastic, and then after a month or two,
Mm-hmm.
we lose the focus. So the chronic care management, um, with our Mahajan Medical Center, we have experts like myself and our nurse practitioner, along with our lead MAs, helping us keep the patients focused. And it's a, if you get good results, then it gets you a positive reinforcement
Yeah.
to get your numbers tight. Is there anything else which stood out from that patient experience, Jennifer, you want to share?
Well, he's also lost weight and he feels great. He feels like so much better than he did when his A1C was up. He is now making better lifestyle changes and dieting and exercising, and it's easy for him now. It took a while, but now I stayed with him. I supported him. I encouraged him the whole way, and we're really happy with the results. And he couldn't be happier.
That's great. Let's see. We got some comments. Let's use. Let's see. Debbie put a comment, our office manager. So it's December and January. The birthdays will be celebrated on January 27th. So do RSVP. Debbie gonna put a link where you can RSVP if you are planning to attend our birthday celebration at our office. So thank you, Debbie, for putting that up. All right, so let's go to the. So as I was alluding to earlier, chronic care management is not just for diabetes.
Mhm.
It's for other chronic conditions which can uh, decrease your quality of life and increase your hospitalizations, and more importantly, reduce your life expectancy. So, what other chronic conditions, Jen, we put our patient on chronic care management at Mahajan Medical Center?
I do a lot with depression as well. We talk about breathing techniques and just coping mechanisms in order to help support family support and help just overall breathing and just taking your time and just realizing what life is. And we do a lot of that. And I also can help with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is a lung disease. Talk about different breathing techniques. Make sure you're following your regimen with your medicines, taking your medicines like you're supposed to. Continue with follow up with your pulmonary doctor. And of course, if you smoke, we want you to quit smoking. And that's another thing that we can help with. Encouragement and support for quit smoking. We have lots of programs here in Florida that we can get you set up with. They often offer free products to help you quit smoking, and a lot of insurances cover stuff too. So we can definitely help with that. And also,
Let's stop you there. Let's
okay,
just re-emphasize quitting smoking. I think
yes,
that's such an important piece. And I'm a big fan of not smoking.
hmm
Luckily, I never got into smoking, so I can't share how addictive it is. Though I've read and seen a lot of literature is as addictive as crack
hmm
cocaine and very difficult to quit. That's why despite all the lawsuits on the tobacco company, they still exist because people wants to continue doing it. I have a lot of patients, unfortunately, who have COPD and other lung conditions, and despite our repetitious counseling, they keep smoking, unfortunately. So what Jennifer was alluding to is a quit smoking program at Quit Florida, which is a fantastic program. It's free of cost to our patients at Mahajan Medical Center. All our providers and our front desk is well versed in getting you on that. So if you and New Year is coming, so that could be a good New Year
yeah,
resolution for 2022. Start with a bang and get off the shitty cigarettes. Uh, but yeah, you have to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. You didn't get here overnight, so don't be upset with yourself if you're not able to quit. We can help you. There
hmm
are different therapeutic strategies, prescription medications, patches, gum, you name it, and combination of along with the counseling, which Jennifer can help you stay on course. I try to get you a quit smoking program. And don't forget, we have a patient portal. So if you are our patient, make sure you use our patient portal,
hmm
because that's a fantastic tool. Whenever I encourage my patient to quit smoking, I put some instructions in a simple layman language format on their patient portal. So, you forget, you may listen or look at a video or look at a patient education brochure, but you hardly get 10% in your first
hmm
read through. So if it's on your portal, it's for there for life. So you can check on your phone. If you have a smartphone, you can download a Hilo app and you can look at it there or on your laptop or desktop, and ask us to get you education on chronic care conditions like COPD or diabetes. The beautiful patient education literature we can put on your portal. You can go back and refer to you over and over again. So anytime you come visit me or visit Jen or talk to Jen, And if you have access to your computers, laptop, or your smartphones or iPads, do enroll in the patient portal and ask us to get you literature. And if you are Spanish speaking, we can also give you these literature in Spanish. Before we move on, Jennifer, to more topic, isn't there something you wanted to share on the how the plate should look for diabetics?
Yes. So I have this great picture, and this is what a plate should look like when you have diabetes. Let's see if you can see it. Okay, so your meat or your protein should be about the size of a deck of cards. Your starch, which would be like your potatoes and your rice, that should be about the size of a computer mouse. And then there's a fruit that you can have at the bottom, and they say that's about the size of a tennis ball. And then, of course, you can have as much non starchy vegetables. But see, look at that portion of vegetables compared to everything else. It's a lot larger. And that's, I think, is the problem. We don't eat enough vegetables.
So it's not just for diabetic. I think that's a
Mhm.
great template what Jennifer shared for anyone trying to eat healthy.
Yeah.
So if you look at that section plate which Jennifer just showed you guys, half of that should come from your either fruits, vegetables, or salads,
Mhm.
or raw vegetables. If you can't eat raw with your teeth, then boiled vegetables. Even frozen vegetables, though I'm not a big fan, but if are in a cash crunch, or have not done grocery shopping because of transportation issues, even frozen vegetables are better than no vegetables.
Mhm.
The biggest uh, ingredient, or the hidden magical ingredient, Jennifer, in the vegetables and fruit is fiber.
Yes.
So
Makes you feel fuller.
exactly. So when you consume fiber, compared to, let's say, you have ice cream, or cookies, or something fast snack from McDonald's, let's say burger or fries, uh, there is no fiber in that. So what happened is, yes, you feel good, the taste is good, but half an hour later you're hungry again,
Mhm.
because your sugar went up and now it crashed. So
Yeah.
so the key is to add fiber to your diet, and one of the biggest source of fiber is fruits and vegetable. The other good source of fiber, which she didn't have on the picture because there's only so much she can show in the picture, is beans,
Oh, true.
and brown rice, and quinoa, and any whole grain like steel cut oatmeal. So if you can, so I tell my patient, if you want to lose weight, or if you're diabetic, you want to keep your sugar tight, have a big breakfast with chili and brown rice. Sounds crazy, but think about it. Chili has all the great beans, the red kidney beans or black beans. You can put pinto beans, any beans, navy beans, and it has veggies. And you can reduce the salt in that, because if you cook it yourself, you can control the salt. And I won't recommend consuming too much salt for our seniors because of high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So so you got water in that. So you got key ingredients there: beans and water and veggies, and add some herbs to add some flavors. And now you add some brown rice. Now it gets you complex carbs, not straightforward starches, but complex carbs and protein. The protein comes from the beans, as well as the brown rice has some protein too. So now, if you think about combining those two things and have a big glass of water,
Yes.
suddenly you will realize that you're not going to be hungry for next 3-4 hours, because the meal, if you think about it, the meal what you just consume, for example, the whole grains or the beans, comes in a casing. What I mean by casing is it's like extended release medication. It does not, the gut, the small bowel, the upper part of small bowel and stomach can't break it down. It has to go through the bile and the pancreatic enzymes to break down the casing of that, the hard casing on top of the whole grain. So that's why the husk is so critical. If you just eat the pasta, not a whole grain pasta or chickpea pasta, but regular pasta, It's a processed food. They took the good part out, which is the husk.
Huh.
And the husk is what makes the food get digested slowly. So then they have low hypoglycemic index because the gut has hard time breaking the outer casing. So then if you consume that meal which I alluded to for breakfast 2 3 times a week, it's a strange breakfast, chili and brown rice or quinoa. If you are from Latin America, you probably used to quinoa, but quinoa has become mainstream in last 5 years in most of the restaurants too. So it's a very fantastic grain without much flavor. So you can add it to your salads, you can add it to your stews, you can add it to your chili, again, or any kind of beans. Now, when you're making beans, just remember it should be from dry beans. It should not be from canned beans if possible, because the reason for that is, what's the reason for that, Jennifer? What you can think of?
I'm thinking that canned beans probably add sodium
Yes.
to preserve it.
Right. So that's a huge no-no. And the other thing is the casing, the hard casing has become really soft over the years, and it's not as good as, let's say, if you have dried beans soaked overnight. You still have some solid thickness to it, and it has really not become too soft and mushy. Though, the canned beans cook quicker, and that's my point. Anything which cooks quicker is not good for
Right.
you.
It's too easy, right?
Same thing applied to oatmeal. If you have a quick oatmeal in microwave, it's a processed food.
Yeah.
If you have steel cut oatmeal, which has all the husk still attached to it, will take time, 15 20 minutes to cook. But you know that if you consume it, you'll stay full. Add some nuts to it if you're not allergic. Add some raisins or fresh fruits like berries to it. Now you have a full meal instead of having cereal. If you're diabetic, you're heavy overweight, cereal is not a good breakfast. Cereal is quick, and anything quick, what did I just tell you? Spit it out. So, for example, this morning I had chickpeas, cooked chickpeas, and quinoa for my breakfast with a big glass of water. And, I still didn't eat anything.
Wow.
So you stay full. I'm still full. I'm not hungry. So what typically I tell you is I practice too. So it's not just for telling you folks. It will help you to stay full. All right, Jen. So we covered. Let's give a recap what we covered. You want to do that?
Okay. So about the plate sizes, making sure that you're having more non-starchy vegetables. And then as doctor said, adding some beans as well as a starchy grain like your brown rice. And make sure you have some fruit too. And then also one thing I wanted to say, a quick way of estimating some portion sizes. So if you make a fist, this is about a cup. Your palm, this side in the circle, is about 3 ounces. And then your thumb is about 1 ounce. It's a quick way, if you can't find measurements, to kind of estimate what your portion sizes are. And another tip that I think would be try using smaller plate. It looks fuller. You think your brain's thinking, oh, I got more food on here, but it's really a smaller plate. So you eat all that and maybe you're feeling fuller. And like doctor said, drinking a full glass of water before any meal definitely helps.
So a lot of patients, come to me and say, "Hey, doc, we're traveling, or we don't cook at home. What are your advice for me there?" So I will give you one simple advice, which will change your, life in terms of the calorie reduction without even thinking about it. So let's say you go to, an Italian restaurant, and you're about to order your meal. So what you do is tell the waiter or waitress, "Hey, bring the bread in the end." So suddenly you think about it. Now you're bringing the bread in the end, and don't order any soda pop or juices. So, just bring the bread in the end. What that does is now you're not consuming the starch up front, even before your soup has come or your appetizer has come. So now by the time the bread, you're thinking about bread, you say, let me just skip it, I'm full. So just one simple tip when you're eating in a restaurant, will reduce about 50 to 100 calories of your meal, which is excess, and which is just plain starch. So just think about it. Just don't order the bread in the upfront, and get a big glass of water, start
Mhm.
sipping on it, and then get a salad, and then get a the dressing on the side.
Yes. Dressing, gravy, all that on the side, sauces on the side. You can add what you want.
Great point. Gravy too,
Hmm.
that, and butter. Tell them not to bring any butter.
Hmm.
So get a salad always, and get the dressing on the side, and always get non-creamy dressing if you can. Get a vinaigrette dressing, and that way you can put a little bit of the vinaigrette dressing, and if you get creamy dressing like ranch, then it has a lot of calories. So vinaigrette dressing, and then you defeated the purpose of the salad. So a vinaigrette dressing or a non-creamy dressing is a good way to go and get it on the side. Now, if you think about it, now you have a glass of water, you have a salad without any creamy dressing. Now you're ready for your entree. How full you're gonna be to,
Hmm.
and you may end up sharing your entree with your loved ones. So they'll save you money too.
Yeah. Or take it home.
Yeah, or take it home. And that's a good point. Take it home. Most of the time you don't end up eating because it's not as flavorful as, when it's freshly cooked. And that may reduce the calorie consumption too. So, and don't order desserts. Desserts are choke full of calories. And, if you're going to order a dessert, maybe share with your partner or your grandkids, and just have one helping and not go for second helping, and
Hmm.
preferably do not order dessert if you can, and get a fruit
Have a
instead.
fruit. Yeah.
Yeah, get a fruit instead.
Get that sweetness, and maybe that'll crave your sweet tooth.
All right, so let's move on to what other topics. So you covered diabetes, we covered partly the weight loss, we covered what foods to eat generally for overall health, not just diabetes or obesity, but these are superfoods, the berries, the quinoa, the brown rice, the broccolis, the cauliflowers of the world. These are superfoods. So anyone can eat them no matter what your conditions are. And then you're going to talk about congestive heart failure. Is that your next topic?
Yes. So we also help with congestive heart failure for the CCM program, and basically, we just encourage learning how to read packages correctly, so you can find out how much sodium's in the foods that you
Let me
consume.
tell people what congestive heart failure
Okay.
is before we get too far with your recommendations, because we have people with who may not have family or friend with congestive heart failure. So if you think about heart, think about it as a pump. So the heart is a muscular pump, and if you, God forbid, get a heart attack or an infection of the heart or inflammation of the heart, and it get injured, um, and the circulation to the heart with the coronaries get um, blocked, then the squeeze of the heart muscle can go down. And the pump, instead of pumping robustly like this, if you imagine this to be a heart, it should pump like this 60, 70, 80 times. It pumps like this. So it's not pumping vigorously, it's pumping very softly. So then you can get backflow of the fluid to your lungs, to your legs, to your belly, and you can get short of breath, you can get leg edema, you can get
Mhm.
fluid in your belly, and you get short of, fatigue because your muscles don't work as well because the oxygenation get less. And that's the classic systolic heart failure. That means the pumping function has gone down. Now there is another variety called diastolic heart failure. It's more technical, but since we're talking about it, and some of you folks have congestive heart failure, um, so the diastolic heart failure is your pump function is intact, but the muscles don't relax, so they become thick because of high blood pressure or obesity or sleep apnea. The end result is same. You get backflow of the fluid to your lungs, to your heart. So that's congestive heart failure. So now, Jennifer, we're going to talk about what can you do if you have it, in terms of preventing it to affect your quality of life? Go ahead, Jennifer.
So the most important thing is to just be aware of how much sodium that you consume. Sodium is not good. It makes you have swelling and just makes the congestive heart failure worse. Another thing is you want to make sure you're doing weight checks, daily weight checks, and making sure you're not gaining more weight because it could be fluid buildup. And you want to, of course, contact the doctor if you're having increased shortness of breath. And just kind of watch your fluid intake too, because we can have too much fluids when you have congestive heart failure. I do have a really nice book that I can, I have great recipes in it, tips and tricks to go grocery shopping and how to eat out and, how to still have a normal life with this chronic disease. So that's something that, happens during our phone calls. I do a personalized letter and I, give all recommendations that I've talked to Dr. Mahajan about and we all are in agreement for, and then we mail lots of education and I just have support and I'm available Monday through Friday anytime at the office is open to contact if you have questions or concerns. And I think it's just really great because I'm there for encouragement and support so you can feel like you're not alone.
And the good part is most of the insurances cover chronic care management, so it's not maybe you may have a deductible or copayment, but it's not a whole lot. And you're getting a personal coach and under the guidance of the physician and the nurse practitioner. So it's a win-win. And then, she can always, and she does, if we have to reformulate the care plan, she has the expertise of me, Dr. Mira, and all our three nurse practitioners to help her. So she's not that she's doing all this on her own. This is all under our protocol and guidance. So you're getting not just her personal attention and expertise over the years, what she gained with helping so many patients, but also, critical expertise from me and all the providers. So it's a win-win program for anyone who has, all these chronic conditions like depression, CHF or congestive heart failure, COPD or lung conditions, and diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, any of those things. If you're having struggle to improve, you can join our chronic care management program at Mahajan Medical Center. So that and Jen does a great job, as you all know. She is very conscientious, and we are very fortunate to have her in our team.
Thank you.
We got our friend Ray Davis saying patient portal is great, and Ray has been a very supportive listener to our podcast and our patients, along with Caroline. I agree, Ray. The patient portal are a phenomenal technology tool available to patients now. Even the hospitals offer it now, and you guys should sign up for them as well as the labs. And if you are a snowbird, then if you, let's say, we had a patient today who came from Michigan, and he was able to show me his last A1C on his phone from Michigan, from his primary care there. And I told him, that's fantastic because, a lot of folks don't remember what the lab values are, but you don't need to, because now you got a handy dandy smartphone, and you can have as many portals as you want, from your primary care up north, from your from Mahajan Medical Center, from other specialists too. And if they are on eClinical Works, then it becomes easier because you can have the same app for different providers. And if they don't have eClinical Works, no big deal. You're going to have another app. So, but the good thing is that it is yours to keep. And God forbid you get sick somewhere, and end up in the ED or urgent care, and you don't have the record with you. It's a record on go. You can pull up your meds, you can pull up your allergies, you can pull up your last labs. So it's fantastic tool, and it's free.
Yeah.
I like the free part in it.
Yeah. I like the medication part.
Yes.
A lot of times you can't remember your medicine, so they're right there for you.
And the other great piece about the patient portal and the Hilo app, which is the app we use with Mahajan Medical Center for patient portal on your smartphone or iPads, or the any other internet device, is Hilo app. And if you download from the App Store or the Google Store, uh, you can also refill your medications from that. That's really great feature. A lot of people work, or you get busy during the daytime, and we close at night, and you say, "Ooh, that's my 3 pills left." So and then next day same thing happens. So what you can do is any time of the day you can say, "Please refill XYZ medication," and then we get that and we do it next day. So you don't need to call. So that saves us a phone call, saves you a phone call, and it gets you a reminder on your appointments. So it's a very good tool. More and more patients are using it. We're getting communication from them too. If they have any urgent emergent questions. And then also a lot of you folks have used telehealth feature at Mahajan Medical Center. I think that's very useful. In fact, I did 3 telehealth today, folks, because COVID is coming here. Unfortunately, I did 3 telehealth today, and all were COVID positive. And unfortunately, the folks were visiting up north with their family for Thanksgiving, Wisconsin, Indiana, Michigan, all these Minnesota, the northern states. When they're coming back, they're bringing the gifts with them. So the point I'm making is the telehealth is very good if you're not sure if you have cough and cold. So it's for your safety of the community if you can ask for telehealth from the providers. So then the providers and the provider staff and the other patients sitting in the office don't get exposed to whatever communicable disease you have, maybe COVID, maybe influenza A and B. We in that season as well. Could be RSV, respiratory syncytial virus. So any of those viruses which cause upper respiratory symptom can be transmitted, through the breathing and through sneezing, coughing. So it's good to, be courteous and maybe do telehealth, and you can still get it addressed. It's not that you won't get your symptom addressed. So telehealth is another fantastic feature, and it's covered by insurance so far. So hopefully it stays that way. All right, we got Nicole giving us a comment. Let's have Nicole here. Nicole is a great nurse. She's talking, a patient of ours. Great information. Jen is awesome.
Aw.
I agree, Nicole. She is awesome, MA. Always very friendly, knowledgeable when taking care of me. I'm in nursing school, and she is, oh, that's very sweet of you to
Thank you,
say.
Nicole.
That's very sweet
It's
of
always
me.
a pleasure to see you.
And then our friend Andrea, she's another great nurse at Mom Plan Hospitals, and she's been our patient for a long time. In fact, her whole family sees us. We have the honor of seeing our whole family. She's saying, great information, education. Thank you for always caring of my family and friends. That's very sweet of you, Andrea. It's our honor to take care of your family and friends. Um, so, we gonna. Do you have anything else to add, Jen, other than what I touched on?
I think it's pretty good.
All right, let's bring something which is, I think, critical in this time of the year. So let me add this slide up here. So this is holiday blues. Now, all of us right now finished Thanksgiving, and we're heading towards Christmas and New Year holiday, and it brings stress, it brings fatigue, it brings unrealistic expectations. And then all of us see that it's getting too commercialized, Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and you get pressure to buy things which you don't need,
Yeah.
and that lead to financial stress. And then some, because the COVID restrictions, a lot of us are unable to meet our friends and family, and that itself can cause anxiety and depression. And everyone manifests it differently. You may not say, hey, I'm not depressed, but you may be losing your sleep at night. Gee, did I give gifts to everyone? Did I give the right gifts? Did I
Mm,
repeated the same gift which I gave last year? So it's a lot of stress because of those reasons, and you may get headaches. You may, as I said, not able to sleep. You get more tired. You get more cranky. You maybe get short fuse, and those are not that you want to do it that way. It's just the holidays bring that kind of stress to our life. So let me just put that slide again for you to see. See what kind of you can relate to, and put a comment that how you coping so far, so I know how's my folks who are listening coping in the holidays. Can you relate to this slide that you're getting unrealistic expectations from your family, over commercialization of the holidays, financial stress, and the last one is more topical, COVID related. So the question is, what can be done? So here are 10 tips from me to cope with the holiday stress and depression. So the number one and two are similar: realistic expectation and realistic goals. So if you think about it, uh, you know, you want to invite your whole family, let's say, for your Christmas dinner. Now, great thought. Maybe, you're put together and your whole family pitches in with bringing a potluck. Great, do it. Maybe, you have a big backyard and, they all help you in cleaning, but not all relatives are that nice. Jen, do you have relatives which are nice when you bring them over?
oh yeah, every family has a couple.
So the point I was making is realistic expectation, realistic goals. Maybe have your in-laws family for Thanksgiving. Maybe have your own family for Christmas. Just split it up.
Yeah,
So then you will have less stress and less tension between those two families, because
right.
let's face it, that's you're just meeting once a year, or maybe not even once a year, and you have to hang out with Auntie Smith, or whatever auntie you don't like, and she is, making you upset. So don't invite Auntie Smith. I know it's hard, but you got to take care of yourself, and that's one of the tip I'm going to show you again. So we talked about realistic expectation, realistic goal, and then if you look at tip number 8, it says make time for yourself. So, you got to think about, this is not something which is you can't trim. You should trim the expectations, you should trim the goals. So make it more manageable. What you want to say about that, Jen? How was your holidays so far?
Oh, it was great. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see my family. They live up north, but I'm looking forward to Christmas, maybe getting to see them. But it was just really relaxing. I just had a nice family time, nice dinner with my dogs and my fiance Justin. So it was a great time, and I didn't really have a lot of stress because I made time for myself, and that's a very important. Make time for yourself and just really think about what you're grateful for.
Right.
That's what I think about.
And that's another point. I have it up here, is less expenditure. If you think about it, if I give, let's say, stand in line in Macy's and get the best PJs for my sister, my brother, and they look at it and they say, okay, and then you stood there 2 hours and you spend money and time and
Mhm.
effort, and they may not even wear it.
Right.
So instead of that, maybe call your brother you not called for 10 years
Yeah.
and say, I love you, and that's probably going to be a better gift.
Yeah.
And then you think about it, once you get carried away, you spend a few $1,000s on gifts. Now when the bills come in January, you're going to be depressed and you're going to be
Yeah.
stressed that how are you going to pay for all that. So I think we talked about over commercialization of the holidays. I think
Yeah.
that's something we all guilty of, and we need to trim it down and make it something more simpler and more, like more family and friend time, and bringing that up. Be careful with the COVID caveat, with the Omicron lurking around. Make sure, if you can, all your guests are vaccinated, and you should be vaccinated too if you can. It's a good time to get your booster if you have not already done the booster. The CDC is recommending boosters to all adults now. Um, so, there is some value in getting boosters on Pfizer and Moderna in preventing Omicron, though the data is still coming in for that. But at least with our Delta strain, there is definite value. And, luckily the Omicron is not as prevalent in Florida, though there was a case in Tampa. So it is coming, but, the booster still has value. So if you have family get-togethers, make sure you do in an open space in your backyard or picnic style in
Park
your
or something.
park. And the advantage of the park, in my opinion, is that you can bring paper plates. You don't have to get your best
Yeah.
china out, and then who's going to clean it afterwards?
There's some stress gone right there.
Right.
Nobody have to worry about cleaning up. All
So
goes in the trash.
Right. So, again, it may not be your standard way of celebrating holidays, but hey, who put those rules up there? It's for you to break. So, don't be too tough on yourself, and as Jennifer said, take time to enjoy yourself. Let's look at some other tips up there. Pace yourself. I think that's self-evident. Make a list, that's part of that, and prioritize. So, priority should be having fun and not, showing off, some fancy stuff. So just prioritize fun and spending time, quality time with your loved ones. And I like the number 5. Don't put all your energy in one day.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, we think of Thanksgiving, we think of Christmas, we think of New Year, any of those holidays, we think of, let's put all our energy, effort, and time, and that really caused a lot of stress on the guest. I mean, the host,
Yeah, the host.
and the host family has to clean up before, you know, uh, cook, and a lot of time you're not used to cooking for a lot of people. So, and then you burn things, that they don't taste well, and it stresses you out, and then you end up drinking more alcohol. And that's a bad thing to do during holidays, is to drink more alcohol, because that makes you more sad after you finish your drink. And you raise your blood pressure with alcohol, and as Jennifer will tell you, congestive heart failure get worse with alcohol. So definitely, less alcohol during holiday time is another way of coping. And do something new for the holidays, which you have not done with your family and your kids before. Break the traditions. Don't need to break your back for, and the families will forget after 5 minutes about the effort you put in. So, and that makes it even more sadder for you, that you spend days and days in, going out grocery shopping and cleaning and cooking, and they don't even appreciate it as much. So set up new rules. Potluck is in.
Yeah,
Have everyone bring a dish, right, Jen?
that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Less cooking, the better.
And less cleaning too.
Yes.
Put paper plates.
They can take their dishes home with them.
Yeah, take your dishes home and clean up at your own home. All right, so let's see if we can give you some more tips for. I like number 6, volunteering. I think, as Jen said, a lot of us couldn't travel and couldn't see our family, so that brings some sadness to us. And going out there, let's say, whatever your church or your Habitat for Humanity or any other organization, food pantries. We did a food pantry drive through Mahajan Medical Center, and a lot of folks and their spouses, and our staff pitched in. So I want to thank them for that. And it was, very joyful event for our staff and us at Mahajan Medical Center to share some, good food with the folks who are not that fortunate this time of the year. So volunteering, not only you do it for other people, I think you do it primarily for yourself. So it gives you joy, and that makes the holiday meaning even more joyful. What do you think, Jen?
I love volunteering. I volunteer any chance I can get. I just think it's a really great way to give back to the community. And like you said, it makes you feel good about yourself, you know? You're like, I'm helping somebody else that's in need, and they're happy and I'm happy. So I think it's a great way
Uh,
to
a,
help
f-
with the holiday
a
blues.
friend, Chris Coolsby, is online. He's saying, I'm thankful just to be able to see family.
Yes.
And I think that's a very good point Chris brings up. The whole thing is about family. It's not about, decorating your house a certain way, or, cooking ham a certain way, or cooking turkey a certain way,
Hmm.
which is all great if you can, achieve that, and, you can not get stressed. But I've not seen a single host or hostess, or both, families which are not stressed, because everyone has different needs. Some are vegetarian, some are nut allergy, some has lactose intolerance. So whosoever has special dietary thing, let them bring their own thing. you know so that way they are happy what they brought, and maybe they can share it with other folks too. So then you have a nice spread. So don't focus on doing everything the same way you did in the past. Don't compare with the past. You may be younger at the time, maybe you had some help at the time, maybe you are not having as much arthritis at the time. So don't need to keep the same traditions if you are not able to
Make new ones,
make new
you
ones.
know?
And we got it right here. Yeah, let's pull that up. So we got it right here, make a new tradition. So, and then spend time with people who care and who appreciate your effort. I think that's critical. If
Yes.
we just because Auntie Jones or Uncle Smith has been coming to our events for a long time, you don't want to disrespect them, but then they bring negativity and they criticize your meals every time, or you know not happy with your hospitality. Cut them off. So surround yourself with friends and family during holidays who are supportive,
Yes.
that who care for your effort, and who stay behind to clean up.
Yes, no, I agree with that. Definitely. It's very important to be around people that are supportive of you and caring, because negativity, it doesn't make anyone feel good, you
Now,
know?
let's see if there's anything else we can share the tip with. I think we covered most of it. So, and these are common sense. These are not rocket science things we're talking about. So, we're going to be finishing or wrapping up our show. If
Oh, we got
you,
another comment from Chris.
yeah, don't worry about it. So we're gonna be wrapping up our show in a minute. If you have any comment or question, if not, we want to wish you folks a happy holidays and Merry Christmas from all of us at Mahajan Medical Center. And we want to wish you stress-free holidays, and pace yourself, enjoy yourself. It's about family, it's about friendship, and it's about you know not getting stressed. It's not about getting stressed. If you missed on sending a gift to someone, just give them a call, old-fashioned phone call. Hey John, how are you? I didn't talk to you for a year. How you doing? I think that would be a better gift than sending an Amazon $25 gift card.
Yeah.
And connecting with the folks you not talked to, a friend you not spoken to 25 years, maybe a great gift for that friend or yourself too, that you reconnected. So think about that and follow up on that. I think you're going to have a beautiful Christmas and a happiest New Year. And we want to make sure that if you have any needs during the holidays, if you're getting sad, please call us, and we can accommodate you and see you, and maybe Some people need help during holidays, what's called SAD or SAD syndrome. We mostly see in up north where there's more snow and people get inside the house more and the light is not as much.
Mhm.
But you can get SAD or seasonal affective disorder in Florida as well, though we are blessed with beautiful sunlight.
Yes.
In fact, there is studies on SAD, and they give them artificial sunlight for half an hour up north, and they get better. So we don't need that. We got sunlight outside. So maybe, and that's another thing you should do is part of the pacing. Go out with your loved one, with your friend, and take a walk around a park.
Mhm.
We have beautiful parks
Beautiful.
in Tampa Bay. Go to the beach. We only go when the friends and family come. Maybe we should go ourselves a little bit more and watch a beautiful sunset or sunrise. I think that will give you aha moments and get you more comfort and endorphins, and you will be less stressed. With that, we come to the end of this show. I do appreciate Jen you coming in and joining me and being co-host of the today's show. If you have any of those chronic conditions, don't forget to ask our friend desk or MAs to connect you guys with Jennifer, and she can put you in the program and she can put you on the calling list and help with the providers to formulate a plan specially tailored for your condition. You have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
And, we'll see you in our next webcast next month. Oh, that'll be 2022.
Wow.
Yeah, time flies. Uh, Ciao, namaste.